Hello. Holy moly. It has been a hot minute since I have been here. So much has happened and also feels like nothing has happened at the same time. Today's episode is all about where have I been? And yeah, it's been a journey. So where do I even begin? I had my biggest month in July this year. I'm now recording this at the end of September. And I had my biggest month in July. It was an incredible month. I launched my program, The Magnetic Woman, and this program lit me up. It still lights me up. It's one of my most proudest moments, and the people and the women in there are absolutely incredible human beings. It's all about creating magnetism and up leveling into multi six figures in your business and beyond. It's an incredible experience as well as coaching. It's just an incredible container. I'm so proud of the women in there. And it was like my biggest ever cash month. And when I saw what I had created for myself, I was like, holy moly, like I cannot believe that I've just done this for myself. It was a massive, like, whoa moment. And so here I am now in like August, and I'm like doing the things and I'm like loving everything I'm doing. And this is so great. And I've created this program and, you know, I'm lit up and this is just so fantastic and fully up leveling myself. And then I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to immediately be like, cool, I've done that. What's next? Cool, I've done that. What's next? Cool, I've done that. What's next? And this last year has been so much of, I've done that. What's next? I've done that. Like in the space of less than a year, I mean, it's like now 11 months, I bought my car in cash. We found our dream home. We moved into our dream home. We've done so much with our house already, and like the things outside and making the insides look and feel exactly how we wanted them to feel. I've done some trainings that I wanted to. I've hired an incredible PA. Her name is Tina. Shout out to Tina for those if she's listening. I'm sure she is listening. I've been to places like Gwingana. Like Gwingana's been a health retreat that I've always wanted to go to. I learned how to speak on stage. I have booked an incredible experience for my birthday, which is in a couple of months from now. And I hit this point like in August. I was like, yeah, I did the thing and I did Magnetic Woman and this is amazing and I'm so excited. And then I was like, cool, what's next? And I actually had no idea what was next. And that felt really, really strange for me. Like really, really strange for me. And I was in that for actually quite a long time. Like I did that in like beginning of August, it started to happen. And now we're at the end of September. So it was almost like a 2-month period where I was kind of like, what in the world is this? Like, what am I even creating for myself next? And for those that are in my environment that I've done an NLP, there's this concept that we talk about, which is like the land of plenty, where you hit this moment of feeling like you've gotten everything that you've ever wanted. It's now done. And I felt like I actually hit that. I hit my version of the land of plenty. And then there was this phase of like, what happens now? I've created everything I've ever wanted. So what happens now? And there was this like feeling of a void. It was this feeling of like, what happens after now? It was such a strange experience. So I kind of was still for a long time. Like I was like, I just don't know where I'm going. So I'm just going to stay put. And what I've noticed in a lot of my clients is when you're stagnant and when you're feeling stagnant, what can happen is to move, you need a motivator. And there's mainly two different types of motivators. There's the away from of pain motivator and the towards pleasure motivator. And so when you're stagnant and you're not focused, if you're choosing to stay stagnant rather than focusing on what could happen in the future and like where are you moving towards in your future, you stay stagnant long enough until there's enough pain to move away from it. And I started to notice that I was creating pain in my life to make me move because I had no idea what to move towards. And it was starting to really freak me out. I was like, I don't like this. I know I don't want to be feeling the pain. Like I know that I'm actually creating this to move because I'm not choosing something for my future to move towards. And I was getting really, really like annoyed with myself, if I'm honest. I was getting really challenged because I was like, I don't know what I'm focusing on. Like, what am I gonna do? This is really hard. Like, I was fully having a pity party moment. And I want to preface, like, coaches, people that have done the work, they have pity party moments too. We just know how to move through them a lot faster because we have the resources and the tools. And I was getting really pissed off at myself because I was like, I know all this. I know I'm creating all of this. And yet here I am being in it and choosing not to move from it. And I felt so real. Like all my problems felt so freaking real for such a, like it hasn't been like that in such a long time. So I hired myself a one-on-one mentor and who actually really resonates with where I'm currently at in life as they've been through something similar. And I was like, what do I do? Like, what is happening? And now that I feel like I'm finally moving towards something again, which I'm going to share what that looks like to give you a sneak peek of what I feel like is going to be the next 12 months for me and for us. And the main questions that I remember being asked or asking myself were these. What gets to be the next thing? What do I want that thing to be? Even though I have all the things I've ever wanted, if there was more things that I could create for myself, what would they be? Sometimes when we're striving for a great life, a life that feels beyond great can be a little bit scary because that's even bigger than a great life. You know, like for me, it was a challenge of being in an environment that people were choosing a good life and wanting to strive for a great life. And then now being in an environment of having a great life and moving towards an even better life. I was like, this is like a whole new level. This is scary. Like there's less people here. There's less people that want an even better than great life here. Like it's a whole nother level. And I was like, what does that look like for me? What is that? What gets to be the thing that I make next? And I pondered on that, and I'll share that with you soon. And then my next question I asked myself was like, what fears do I have? And I'm telling you these questions so you can come back to this at any time and reflect on these questions yourself. Like if you feel like you don't know what you're moving towards right now, these are great questions to be asking yourself, which is why I'm sharing this with you. It's like, ask yourself, like, what fears do you have? What fears do you have at the next level? And for me, there was like a sense of like, what are people going to think of me? Like I've gotten all these things. Like if I'm moving towards even greater than this, what are people going to think of me? What am I going to think of myself? Like, there was already judgment that I had on myself, and assumed judgment was from other people wanting the life that I now have. Like, if they were judging me for wanting this, what are they going to judge me for wanting that? Like, it's a whole nother level, isn't it? That's what I was telling myself. So what fears do I have? What fears do you have moving into the next level of yourself? I had to face them. I had to own that they're a possibility, and other things also could happen that could be greater. The next question I asked myself was like, what actually matters? Because for me personally, when I created all this for myself, I was like, now what? What actually matters? What actually matters? What work that I do, what actually matters? Does any of it matter? Like, that's what I had in my mind. So then I got to choose what actually matters for me. Like, what I had to put a stake in the ground and goes, this is what matters to me, and this is what I'm here for. So I figured all that out. Finally, it felt like a lifetime. And in that time, I've been focusing more on joy, because joy matters. And I've been focusing on more pleasure, and not just sexual pleasure, although that's fantastic. More pleasure in life, like finding all the moments that just feel so great. Like the way that the sun hits your skin on a cold winter morning, the sound of nature, your children laughing. Like, what are the things that just makes you feel so great? I've been focusing on weaving that into my life more. More presence. So just being present with things rather than going, oh, I got to do this, and what's the point of this, and I got to do this, and like my brain just going 100 miles an hour. Been focusing more of like what's happening in front of me rather than what's happening internally. The other thing I've been focusing on is like more substance, more depth, more richness of life, like quality over quantity. Experiencing all those beautiful things and feeling them, having great conversations, having deeper conversations with people. And I've also been focusing on a new focus. So I was like, what next? What do I want to do next? What do I get to create for myself now? And what kept popping up for me and Ashley, my husband, we really want to do more traveling. Now that the world seems to have calmed down, we want to travel more. And I have a desire to want to travel Australia more than I want to travel overseas. So I went and looked at some beautiful caravans with my husband. And that's the next thing that we're going to aim for, is to buy a beautiful caravan and get a new car specifically for the caravan. And we're going to book and organize our trips around Australia that we want to do, because I get to do that. I get to work from my caravan, which will be fun. So that's where I've created like a towards motivator of like, what do I get to do next? I get to have the house and the beautiful family and the animals and the time freedom of working from my laptop. And I get to see Australia. I've also picked up my camera. So for those that have been following me for a long, long time, you'd know that I used to be a boudoir photographer. And I purchased a new camera for myself to start taking photos more so of nature and more arty photos of people, which is going to be super fun. And that's more to like just light up the creativeness for me. And I get to take more of those photos when I get to travel Australia, which gets to be super fun. And I'm really, really excited. And we're also looking at creating an investment portfolio. So buying our first investment property, which is going to be fun as well. So they're the things in my personal life that's driving me to make money. And what's driving me to just continue wanting to make money is the level and capacity and how wide I get to help people. So there's going to be some really, really new and exciting offers. One of them, which I'm super freaking excited about, is a new level inside Level of Limitless. So Level of Limitless is a 12-month program that I have had for a couple of years now. And me and my head coach, Samira, have decided to create this level within Level of Limitless that gives you access to everything, like all courses and all masterminds that I offer over a 12-month period. And you get access to live trainings and live Q&As every single week. You have access to our community. You have access to my team to help you with moving through business, life, relationships, health, all the things. And we've made it so freaking affordable. It's absolutely bananas. Like, value for money is incredible. So if you are interested in Level of Limitless, this would be an incredible opportunity for you. It's only $500 a month. Like, it's actually super freaking affordable. And I'm really, really excited about the amount of people that are going to come into that container now to be able to access all of the value that's in there. And yeah, I'm like really, really excited to level up in Level of Limitless and see the people that come through. So that's like a vision of me helping people, is making it more affordable and more sustainable for all business owners to be able to like tune into creating so much wealth and time freedom for themselves and their family, that this is just such a powerful stepping stone. So if you are interested in Level of Limitless, or if you're already hitting 6 figures and you want to hit multiple 6 figures and you're curious about Magnetic Woman, please feel free to reach out and message me on Instagram and tell me which program you're interested in, and we can have a chat about that. So that's like the vision piece for me, is like helping more people become financially wealthy, and also having more time freedom specifically for their family. Like, there's so many families I've noticed right now that are being stripped away from their actual family. Like, they're all in separate areas. They're going to work and their kids are in daycare, or like they really want to be able to homeschool them, but they're actually not homeschooling because they need to make money. And I want to be able to help more people create more financial freedom and time freedom so they can choose the life they want. Like, if you want to go traveling in a caravan, that you get to do that. And if you want to have a house that's more on acreage so you can have a garden patch, which is something else I've been tinkering away on, is creating our own veggie patch and fruit trees. And we bought chickens and all the things. Like, if you want to have a life more like that and be financially sustainable, like that's what I'm here for. Is I want to help people have more financial freedom for the sake of themselves and their family. And that's what's driving me. So you can see, like, if you're actually looking at, now I get to do these on YouTube and my podcast. So if you're actually looking at the video right now, there's this beautiful mandala canvas in the background of the picture, and I'm beginning to slowly color this in, or quickly color this in, with colors that are color coded to the amount of money my clients have been making, from anywhere from $5,000 to $60,000 of the color codes per month is what I've got so far. And like, being able to see that visually of how many of my clients are making more than $5,000 a month for their family is super rewarding to me. So I get to take more photos of that, and it makes me super duper happy. So yeah, that's where I've been at. And this is just your reminder to create a vision for yourself and what you're being connected to in your future. Like, put a lasso around the thing that you want to come, and energetically connect yourself to it, and know that it gets to come to you and it gets to happen for you, and you get to create this for yourself as long as you keep moving towards it rather than waiting for pain to move you. That has been like my biggest lesson over the last couple of months, is just keep focusing on the things that you get to create for yourself, as well as enjoying now. And that's how you move. Like, keep focusing on your future, keep figuring out what you're actually creating for yourself, and for the people that you're impacting, and continue on that path, and you get to create that life for you, which is absolutely incredible. It's such a great feeling. So that's all from me. I hope you have an incredible day. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were on this episode. And if you have any questions, if you want to talk about my programs, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and we can see what would be the perfect opportunity for you. Much love. Bye.